actually? Let's
Uh,
see.
I can't see you as of yet.
All right, maybe now. What about now?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's roll.
I wanted
So,
for taking time to speak with me today.
yeah, of course. Oh man, absolutely no problem. It's a pleasure.
How was the recording process for the gates of the underworld? How did it go for you?
The recording process, well,
Yeah,
it took place actually, yeah, I mean, it took place in different times because of the pandemic, because believe it or not, the record was basically written already a couple years ago at least. So with all the restriction, it was with all the restriction going on back then, in one summer, we tracked the drums in a studio, and then during the next summer, actually, we've been able to track the vocals and then all the guitars and everything. So, I mean, it took like, it was like some sort of an odyssey, for getting the whole things done. But I mean, mainly nowadays with the technology, we've been able also like to to record ourselves in our studios or home studios. I mean, every one of us now got like their own setups at home. I'm lucky enough that I live basically just up from my studio, so I just opened a new studio here, so it went like super smooth. And it's great because I mean we always like to take our time also in the studio because we want to double check every hit or every small detail, because we want that to be perfect. So I mean, if you're in a rush like only 3 days, you can do it because we've been doing that a lot in the past. But for this one, I mean, it's a record that is complex, so I mean we just didn't really want to miss anything out from the picture. So
yeah, I think it definitely shows on the album. When I heard the album, it's my first experience with the band, and it made me go back to your previous albums to check them out because I love the album from top to bottom.
yeah, oh, thanks. That's I really appreciate that. No, I'm glad because I'm also receiving the feedbacks from the album that has been already released since maybe a few days, and especially in the States and Japan, and it's going like big, huge. I mean, people is really discovering us and really appreciate what we've been doing. So I mean, it takes some time because I mean it doesn't happen from one day to the other. It's not like a night and day process. But very satisfying. Thanks for your kind words.
I wanted to ask you also about the song Descent. It's one of my favorite tracks on the album. I want to ask you a guitar perspective. How did that song come about?
Okay, Descent. Yeah, actually, Descent. I remember it clearly because it's probably one of the maybe the first song that I wrote for this album. And yeah, but actually, from a guitar point of view, I need to tell. I need to tell you this because I mean, do you play guitar?
I used to play guitar. I don't play very much anymore.
No, because I had to change the approach for basically every song, but I actually started with this and to having this new approach for this album because I mean guitar, no matter how good you are on playing it, but it's muscle memory. So basically, every time you pick up a guitar, you will end up to play the same, 1 0 1 0 da 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 da. It's kind of you're some sort of a cage mentally when you have the guitar in your hand. So with this hand, actually, and with the approach of the general composition of the album was basically to start with a different instrument. So I was basically, messing around with orchestras and then especially with a lot of electronic sound that we always used. And this sound I remember to have like to that I built up the intro as first, which is basically no guitar. If you think about it, it's just like electronics and then a couple pads and then orchestra that makes this crescendo, and it's really I just really wanted to have this song that it starts like in some sort of 80s way, 80s type synth way, like Rocky type soundtrack and all that. I just wanted to have that vibe, but then adding like some epic, orchestra. And actually, believe it or not, the guitar team that is there in the intro, it's been written by violins first. So then I took the guitar and then played it. So and basically from the guitar perspective, I build up basically throughout the album. First, I've been building up the orchestras and then the scenes and the electronics. Then I add the guitar straight after. So it was a bit different. So I adapted the guitars to what was in the background to start with. So, but yeah, from a guitar point of view, this set is very interesting too because I mean there's a lot of riff ramas going on. There's a lot, of you know, uh, I would say a lot of wild rhythmics and wild leads, and it's fun. And I remember because the when it came to the chorus, that also came immediately, and when it's good because it sticks to your hand for a bunch of days, and then you track it down, and okay, this works. So I remember the chorus was like one of the first thing that I came up with, and it was written basically with the strings, the string section. Na, na, no, na, 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 na. It's very melodic driven, I mean, a good chorus to me, it's something that it's simple to remember, but it could be complex. I mean, there is Nuno in one of his latest interviews about this new album with Extreme. He mentioned this term called simplexity. It's, I mean, there's no perfect word to describe what I'm trying to achieve with the band, with the composition.
And I wanted to also ask you, as far as the guitarist perspective, what was the hardest track you lay down?
Oh, you mean recording wise or just to create?
Uh, Recording wise.
Oh, recording wise, well, all of them basically, but I remember for sure. Um, I think the toughest one was Origins. It's because it's very long, and basically, if you pay attention on the verses, on what happened with the guitars, of course, I just decided, hey, let's do something different in every verse. So I couldn't remember, okay, but this phrase, it's a little different. There's a couple not of difference compared to the first verse, and then there's like it was a lot of variations for the same thing, so it's very hard to remember. And that was basically the biggest struggle. Plus, it's a very long track, and there's a lot going on with the guitars, a lot of phrasings. I mean, I was just practicing the song yesterday, and I was like, damn, Frankie, I fucking hate you. And I hate myself for writing that, because then you have a lot to remember, and especially, in a live situation when maybe, you cannot hear it perfect. It would be tricky, but it's gonna be fun anyway. So I think even if I'm gonna play the same phrase, probably nobody's gonna, realize that. So, but that was, a lot to combine. But I become like pretty fast also on track the guitars, because I mean it's just some sort of second nature nowadays. But it takes a lot of time anyway too, because I actually quad track the guitars, so I make like four rhythmic guitars, two left and two right, so I can reamp it through different amps and cabs and make the sound combination that I prefer. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Another tough song I remember, it was basically, I think, Revenant. That was like another song full of riffs and with a lot going on. And yeah, those two for sure.
And speaking of the live experience, which track are you looking most forward to playing live?
Oh, actually, to be honest, my favorite track that I would love to play live, it's the title tracks, The Gates of the Underworld. It's like the 13-minute piece, monster that it's perfect for, opening up show. You have like all this build up, you start with those bells and then, I can already picture all the lights and all the stage settings for having that song to for opening up. Plus, I know it's a long song, but it has a lot going on, lots of sections, memorable sections, and you have also like a bit of relaxing moments within the songs. So it's like a perfect song to start a show. And yeah, another song that I really want to do is like Origins, then Venom, because Venom, it's like slower, like is when you see the people jumping on the crowd actually. So I'm really looking forward for playing that live. Yeah, because I mean the last show we played was 2021, so it's been like a while.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, yeah, and so we are like really eager to go live again.
And how did it go with the videos? You have two out now, is that correct?
Yeah. Actually, I mean, once we select with the label, because I mean, we always have like a conversation with the label guys every time that we deliver an album, and so the first step is basically to decide which singles are going to be out. So usually, I mean, with the Scarlet Records, I mean, the guys are great because, I mean, it's always like, the perfect compromise within what they want and what we want. And so usually they pick two singles and then we pick other two singles. It's always been like that way. Because, I mean, one video they will decide and we decide the second video, basically. So um, yeah, with the video, basically, we've been working with Matt for we work with him like from the first album, second album. With Equilibrium, with the third album, we couldn't, unfortunately, match our dates with his dates because we were busy and he was busy. But this time, I mean, we hired Matt again. It was super smooth. I mean, there was a lot of organization, of course, because I mean, you need to, coordinate everything
Sure.
basically. And then, especially when you shoot on the outside, it's always like, some sort of a lottery because you never know how the weather is going to turn. And plus, it could be stressful because, I mean, we all live in different countries and actually in different parts of the same country too. So, I mean, our singer and our drummer, they live 700 miles south from where I live. And our keyboardist lives in Belgium, and I'm in central Italy, and our bass player lives in Rome. So I mean, it's just like every time it's a big headache to get us all together. So we try, to do everything in 2 or 3 days, which is not always possible because maybe if one day it's raining and you're shooting outside, you're forced to, And if you see actually at some point in the Overlord video, there is raining, rain coming down. So, but we were like almost at the end, so we said, "Fuck it, we take the rain." And for the second video, Ascent, we went down south, basically Frankie's town, our singer town, and it was perfect because I mean you got the seas, you got like this kind of desert looking, and it was perfect for Ascent because I mean it takes a lot. It's something that is a lot in that vibe, and yeah, and Matt was there too. So I mean it was like a very nice trip, and then of course we hired a couple of actresses for having some sort of bit more going on in a video because I mean also like with the label they just said you need to have like some actions in the video too. I mean looking at the guy playing, it could be interesting because we play like this music style that everybody likes to see what's going on the fretboards or in the drums. So I mean, it has to be a balance because 7 minutes with nothing but the band will be like. So it doesn't have to be like a Tarantino movie, even if I would love to. But uh, yeah, it
Now,
has to work.
ask you, what's the next chapter for the band? What's what's coming next? Will there be a tour?
Actually, there is many ideas, but for sure we just want to, take back what we've been missing out with Equilibrium. Because I mean, when Equilibrium was released, it was basically the end of 2019. It was November or something like that. So we've been able only to do the release party, and then pandemic started, and it got fucked.
Yeah,
So we started to have like the first festivals. We were starting to headline some festival and everything, and but it's all gone because the pandemic. So most of those festivals they shut it down, they discontinued it. So, and then when the pandemic was over, we already had like a record that was 3 years old, which means nothing to us, but for the market or whatever. So 3 years is a long time. And so this time for sure we want to take back all that we've been missing out from the previous album. So I can see like us making more shows, and I'm definitely aiming to establish the band in the US more than Europe to start with, and also touring Japan will be like an option. But the other option is also that we might write very soon another album too, because I mean, also the label they were like, man, we got like this great album. If we make like another one, which is great next year, we're on.
right.
And so for sure, I mean, there's gonna be like a lot going on for sure with the band. And I basically, quitted my job to put more time in this. So I'm taking a risk, but we only live once.
That's
Plus,
right. And
and go on.
yeah, I wanted to ask you, for a new fan like me, if you can take me back and give me a band history lesson.
Take the question again. Sorry, there was like a bump somewhere for the connection.
I'm a new fan. I'd
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I'd like you to take me back in time and give me a history lesson on how this all came to be.
Oh, okay, it's the lesson. Yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a funny story, and because to start with, at some point, I was living in the Scandinavian countries. I was living in Finland, and I moved there because of the metal scene. I'm a
Mm,
big fan of the, let's say, the more extreme side of metal, melodic death metal, and all those. Children of Bodom was like one of my favorite bands. Arch Enemy, the whole like Scandinavian, um basically the old Scandinavian metal. So I just decided, because I was just done with the music university and I got my master and everything. So I was like, the hell am I doing in Rome or in Italy? I mean, there's no like scene, there's no scene here. And so I moved to Finland and I found a band and we started touring the world. It was so fun. But at some point, I just realized that, okay, but I'm playing uh, someone else's music, somehow. It's fun, but I started to to think that I need to do something, that it's more mine, that I feel it mine. So, and also my wife like kicked me like she pushed me a lot to start a band. So I moved back to Italy, and I met a few friends in a festival where I remember Vision Divine was playing, and can't remember like some other cool bands. And I met Andrea, our bass player, and Oh yeah, DGM was playing there. So and I saw those guys playing, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, guys! I mean, you guys rule. So and actually, we became with the guys immediately super friends. And I remember I was at their stand at the merch table drinking beer and all, and all that, having fun, talking about like shredding and everything. So, I mean, we connected immediately with the guys. And then, years later, I decided to, okay, now it's time to make a band and to start at least writing music. And after, let's say, 1 year, I had the first album basically written. Because another thing is that I didn't want to, waste time being like the band that rehearse, that do a lot of rehearsals. And I mean, I just want to make shit happen, because I mean, the rehearse box kills the bands at times. So, and I didn't want to everybody to waste their time too. So, I mean, I just got with the pre-production of our first album, and I contact Andrea, and he was, dude, um, I got this. So take a couple of weeks, then tell me if you like it and if you want to start a band. Um, if we do this, we do it for the purpose to, to get out there, to rock and do it hard, no time wasting, no useless rehearsing or composing together, whatever, because we live far and everything. But if you like it, let me know and we'll start the process. Couple of weeks after, he reached out to me and he was, dude, Frankie, those songs are phenomenal. Yeah, this kicks ass, I really want to do this. And so we started to look for the other guys. And he brought Emma, the DJM keyboardist, also on board for the first album. And I remember Emanuele, actually, he gave me the contact of Frank. So because we auditioned a few singers, but we weren't like super satisfied. And so Emanuele, I'm pretty sure because I mean, it's like 12 years, 13 years, whatever. So it's a while back. Um, so I remember Emma giving me the number of Frankie. And I reached out to the guy and he goes, hey, dude, I got this project going on. And then we got like this super band, all the guys are, top-notch players. And so would you like, me to send you a couple of songs and you can put your ideas on it? And he was, no, dude, you're not going to send me anything. I'm coming to your studio right now. So, I mean, he actually he took the train and 2 hours later he was in the studio like and he really wanted to meet us and I remember I was there so he showed up and he wanted to listen to the song there and meet us and have a beer and everything so I totally I was okay, this is a guy that wants a job basically. I like the attitude, and basically, so we had a coffee and then we started listening to the songs, and it was okay. I got a few ideas, and it was okay. Let's catch up tomorrow morning, and then we do our magic in the studio. Let's see how it works, because I mean, it was a meeting just to see how we hanged out together and stuff. And so the day after, he came to the studio, Frankie, and we had the lyrics, and I just said, okay, maybe over here we go a bit softer. Maybe over here we push it a bit more like hard. You can make harsh vocals and stuff, and then he basically came out with the Downfall song, which is our first single, and like that, 3 hours, and it was okay. You got the job, man. So. And since then, it was like a great escalation because I mean, uh, the fun thing that actually many of those guys they never crossed into each other. So I mean, I remember when it was the day that we had to shoot the Downfall video. It was kind of fun because I mean, for the first time, the drummer, meet the guys and was, hey, nice to meet you, I'm the drummer. Okay. And hey, nice to meet you, I'm the keyboardist. Hey, nice to meet you, I'm the singer. And our director, Matt, was, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on here? You know, I mean, you're shooting a video and you just met. I mean, that's how it was. That's how it went, actually. So it's a fun story because I mean, the first time that the band was all together, it was for shooting the first video, and then of course, I mean, we are a bunch of also like fun guys to hang out with. We like to party and to have fun in general. So I mean, it's been like very smooth. Then. It kept growing, and then we released. Actually, there's been like after the shooting of the video, there has been like maybe a few months where I was searching for a label and stuff. I was, sending this video around because I mean, by the time it was, I mean, we got the songs, we got the chops, the album was there, it was already recorded, well, it sounded great. So, and the video was shooted. So basically, what happened was that I was looking for a label, and I found this label like on a magazine or whatever. I can't remember where. There was a phone number. I called them and I was, hey, dude, I'm just, we have this band. We got DGM members, we got episode members, we got like, all this going on. And we already had like a video and everything. So, and it was, yeah, why not? I mean, it was the AAR for this label. But yeah, send me all the material and, I'll hit you up like next week. This sounds interesting already. So basically what happened was that it was almost Christmas time, and the label reached out like even before than a week, and it was, dude, we want you signed immediately. So I mean, I will send you the contract, and I was, yeah, sure, but let's do that after Christmas because it was just before the Christmas break. I had all the family coming and stuff, so I just needed a break, so to think. And then I remember after New Year's Eve, it was probably the 1st of January or something like that. My phone is ringing and it's another label. It's Scarlet Record, which was like, bigger than this label. And so the guy was, you're Francesco? Yeah, it's me. Who I'm talking with. Yeah, it's the guy from, I'm the boss of the Scarlet Records. I heard that you're up to sign a deal with another label. I don't want you to do that. I want you to sign with my label. And I was like, all right. I mean, out of nothing, we had basically 2 record deals to choose from, and I remember I was already hangover because it was like, the New Year's Eve, and then, but I had to take immediately like a shot of whiskey, like, okay, yeah. And then of course their deal was way better, and then there were like already some prestigious bands in the roster. So, I mean, clearly they want to, it went in that direction. So, and after that, I remember they released Downfall somewhere in April 2014 or something like that. And that one, also like, I remember DGM played Pro Power USA that year, and the single was out, and they were like, dude, what the fuck is going on? This is awesome, yeah, and all that, And when the record was out, basically we won like the best newcomer of the year in the United States. So it was like, successful in the US since day one. And we were like, okay, this is not a joke. I mean, never started because we wanted to to fuck around. I mean, but we were already 30 in our 30s. So, I mean, you don't want to waste time, when you're 30. You can't if you're a pro, basically. So we just started a band with a proposal like, we do it, but we do it to kick ass. So no laziness, no fucking around. We do the best we can do, and we want to be the best we can be. So, and I mean, we are very satisfied about every record that we made, and there is not a single note that we want to change because I mean, it's, even if I listen back to those records, I mean, of course, I always find like the down points because I mean you created that, so it's like if you're a wood carpenter, you will always find something that is not working. But in the end, if I had to think back, that was the best we could do at that precise moment because I mean every album is like it's a snapshot of your life in that moment. So it's I mean we are satisfied and I'm very satisfied about the results that we achieved. And we definitely worked very hard. So
And as a, like I said, when I heard this album, I went back to your past catalog, and it still sounds fresh to this day.
yeah. Actually, I was talking to another friend in the US that said, "Man, Downfall is still like it's aging well, still feels fresh."
Mm.
So yeah, no, that's great to hear. I mean, um I mean, I don't think it's luck, but I'm not taking it for granted. I appreciate for what is happening. And the world it's full of brilliant musicians and great bands and stuff. So I mean, it's just I mean sometimes people complain because we don't live the present. We always forward or unfortunately sometimes backwards or whatever. But you know, we are lucky to be able to do this, to do what we like. And I'm blessed because of that. Because I mean, I wake up every morning that I can be, in the studio, and I produce other bands, I mix and master other bands, and I have the time to do this basically. And I mean, always pushed in this direction, so I'm not gonna give up. So,
When you have free time and not working on music, you have some downtime. What are some hobbies that you enjoy or pastimes that you enjoy? Wind down.
oh, actually, I love. I mean, I'm a simple guy. I love just to hang out with friends, and even staying in a pub or whatever. Just I love to meet people, and I love to
Sure.
travel. I love to be social. So I mean, it's basically to me, it's just going out, hanging out with friends or meeting new people and travel too because I mean I gotta be totally honest. I'm loving the United States vibe. So and I love to travel there and I'm meeting the people there and I'm starting a business there too. So I mean it's like I'm planning to stay in the States more often to make a back and forth because I'm gonna have a recording studio in the Cleveland area, and then I will have my recording studio here, so I will have to do back and forth. But I love to travel to the U.S. It's a very beautiful country. I love the people, and so my hobbies could be considered, hanging out in pubs and traveling. No, it's just
Well,
hanging out with people.
you'll have to drop me a line next time you come to Cleveland.
Oh yeah, sure. Absolutely, but I think we should stay in touch anyway. So I mean, it's just like every time I meet like someone that is interviewing us, it's like it starts always a new connection. So and we should stay in touch.
Yes, I'm only 40 minutes away from Cleveland. So,
Really? Okay, that's awesome then. No, I will give you, of course, more details for sure. 40 minutes from Cleveland, east or west from?
I'm south of Cleveland
Okay.
in
All
Massillon,
right.
Ohio, close to Canton by the Football Hall of Fame.
Okay. I'm basically quite close to there. It's the Port Clinton Sandusky area.
Yes,
Yeah, it's on the lake basically. It's a beautiful place there. I grew up a lot with Cleveland, and it's an interesting city. And yeah, next time I'll I'll reach you. I'll reach out for sure. That would be
absolutely.
awesome.
Along your musical journey, what would you say has been the best advice that's been given to you along the way?
the best advice that has been given to me during my
Yes.
music career. Um, that's an interesting question. Uh, but I think that the best advice that it was given to me was basically not to be lazy and not to, let details to be bypassed. No, it's like work hard, work in detail, and work well. I mean, 80% of the people works, 20% works well. So it's that thin line, So the best advice is always like do not be in a rush. And if there is time that you gotta be in a rush, still, you need to be able to also to learn how to work on pressure. So, and I'm very good at that too. Because there has been times that we were like very close to the deadlines, and so it might get a bit overwhelming if you're not finished the writing. But I don't panic. I just say, okay, I got this to achieve, and we do it. Still, we do it properly. So the best advice I was given in solo is like, not to be lazy. Basically, don't you can't be lazy if you want to compete with people. That's simple as that.
And all writers, we come into them areas where it's like the pen and the mind don't work, or the riff isn't coming, or something like that is happening. What is some things that you do to step away, back?
There was a little bump on the connection. If you can repeat the question, please. Sorry.
Yeah. When you have a moment where the creativity is not coming to you, do
Oh,
you walk away, or do you kind of just noodle around till you find something, or what's your steps that you take?
actually, that's a very good question. And you always, I mean, there is some parts where you might get stuck. I mean, it happened a lot, especially in the second album. And actually, what happened is if I get stuck, you know, what I do usually is I go out. I need to step out from it and take a walk, basically, or talk with somebody. I need to clear my mind. Usually, if I take a walk, something will start ringing again. And the most important thing is not to judge immediately as you write stuff. Because I mean, the tendency is just like, is to be like very hard with yourself that, somehow in a same way, it helps you to rise the bar. But on the other hand, being too critical while writing, it kills the creativity too. So you have to find a balance. So I don't judge anymore. I will judge it next week.
Right.
So, and or even in 2 weeks, and with a fresh mind, fresh ears. Okay, this is the part that is not working. So that's why we also took more our time for the Gates of the Underworld, because thinking about the process of the creative process for that album, basically it's the album with the less leftovers, because in every album we have lots of leftovers or stuff that I didn't use, or you know let's say trashed out riffs or whatever. And for the Gates, almost not a single riff on the trash. So I was just waiting for it to build up and to grow it by itself. Then I go there, and my wife also helps, like with the orchestration and stuff, if because she's an amazing singer too, and she helps sometimes if I have a vocal line in my mind. Or for example, in Ascent, there is that vocals like Arabic vocals at the beginning and in the middle of the song. It's her. So it's like, sometimes I just go to her. Hey, I think this is working, but I feel that there is something missing. and she's also like a very well-trained musician and singer. So she was like, ah, okay, it's probably why it's not working in this section. And then if I get stuck sometimes, I call Julian, our keyboardist, that's also like, he's a great composer too. He wrote the song Anima for this album, and then also we co-wrote a lot of stuff in the past records. So sometimes, I just call him and, dude, what do you think about this? Yeah, you should do maybe this. And we found like, sometimes works this way. But, most of the times, um, yeah, just to be relaxed about it. Something good will come anyway. So, but of course, you need to dedicate some time to spend some time on it. Plus, nowadays, another thing is that now we got, I mean, after 10 years of writing this type of material and stuff and cooperating also with other artists and other producers and other like composers too. I mean, I found our formula. So basically, if 10 years ago it would take us like 6 months to write an album or 1 year, now it might take 1 month or 2 months. It depends. So, but that's not anyway the way I see when I have to compose an album, because I don't want to have like, hey dude, we need to start this day and finish this day. So now that we got a chance with 4 albums released, I want to take my time to, you know, to not be repetitive, to not be, but sometimes you gotta even do that. But I try to bring on the table something new in every record. So that takes time to experiment and to, achieve what you have in your head.
I also wanted to ask you, what's the best way to get a physical copy of the album and any merchandise that you have? And will the album come out in vinyl?
Oh, actually, about the vinyls, we're gonna print the vinyls with next year, 2024, because we wanted to put priority on promoting basically the singles, and then to have like the licenses in Japan too. So that was like label's priority. And basically, once that we are covered with the Japanese market too, we'll have time to work on the vinyls for sure. And we have our web shop, of course, and still need to update it. It's a lot of work. I mean, managing a band, it's just like, a bit of headache sometimes. But
Sure.
for sure, we're going to do, I mean, we do already have like a lot of t-shirts available and a lot of, caps and glasses. And, we are actually with jeweler from Cleveland. Actually, he made it for us like a prototype lines of like jewels. Oh, where the fuck is that? Wait, this type of stuff, which will also be available. So we are, basically we are getting ready to strike the market with all those, also jewels, and then I mean from every price range, and then we go like earrings and then rings and everything. So it's all with our brand, and yeah. I mean, it is a process that you cannot avoid, simple as that. I mean, the more you have to offer, the more wide range of gadget and merch you can have, the more chance you get for selling it. Because I mean, not everybody are up for always the t-shirts or sleeves or whatever. So sometimes they just buy the glasses, because we also got like the Noveria glasses and everything. So I mean, you can basically how to say, decorate your house with our music, basically with our yeah. So lots of things. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back.
Sure.
All right. Yeah, I'm having fun.
And last, my friend, I wanted to ask you if you could give a message to your fans. What would that message be?
Message to my band, you mean?
Your fans.
Ah, your. Uh, no, sorry, I
Oh,
didn't understand.
I wanted to ask you if you could give any message to your fans. What would that message be?
Ah, fans. All right. Yeah, well, basically, thanks for your support to start with, because without us, yeah, all this wouldn't be like not possible. So, but there's a lot that's going on right now. So I really, recommend for you to stay tuned with us and to check in with us on a daily basis because there's lots of news and we are gonna play lots of shows. So I mean, come and meet us. We're gonna have fun. I mean, we are a family. Every fan brought to the family. It's family. So
Absolutely.
be part of it. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to thank you for taking time to speak with me today.
Oh no, it's a pleasure, Robert.
And please feel free to update me at any time, especially when you head up to Cleveland.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I will do that. Actually, I'm gonna add you because for sure you're following the page, but I'll lead you up on Instagram. Are you on Facebook too?
Yes.
Okay. I'll hit you up on the so I won't forget basically. Robert Kerrigan. There's plenty of. All right. We will have to look on Facebook.
If you want, I can follow you as well. I can look you up.
Yeah, that will be probably easier.
Yeah, I've had quite a few profiles through the years.
Yeah, there's quite a few profile, but if you reach out to me, because I mean, for sure on Instagram, you're already in the band page, and but you can reach out to me as I'm Francesco Mattei official on Instagram and Francesco Mattei on Facebook. So that will be awesome. So we can stay in touch because I should be back in the States somewhere around November, maybe. Yeah. Late October after because we're gonna have we're planning a few shows down here in Italy, and then I will fly back to the US. So should be around November,
All
but
right.
latest January because of the NAMM show, and I will fly to LA and then fly to Cleveland. So latest January there will be like a spot, but I'll touch base with you for sure. Would be cool like to meet and then hang out a bit because I also have a truck down there, so I mean I can drive easily and I'm pretty much organized. So
Well, thank you, my friend, again, for taking time with me. You have a great rest of your day.
yeah, oh, you too, absolutely. It was a pleasure, Robert, and we'll stay in touch for sure. Thanks for having me in your pages and in your for interviewing me. It was like super fun. And yeah, you have a great day too.
All right. Take care, my friend.
You take care. Bye.
Bye.